Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome back to the Mod Sauce. Raise your hand if you want to make a ton of power today. That's what we're going to do. I want to point out first that I've got Rage's head in my hand. There was one put in my base by someone, and I thought that I would put it on my head just because I don't know why Rage is so adamant about getting all his heads back, but I'm going to have a little fun with it. Secondly, today's Wednesday. I am going to be streaming this weekend. I'm going to go probably Friday night after dinner and Saturday probably in the evening and maybe Sunday, assuming I can get OBS worked out. I haven't streamed in so long. I've reinstalled everything, so I got to make sure I can get all my settings ironed out. I have built something. It's a disc-shaped thing on top of a pillar type thing. I don't really know. And I haven't put any elevators or anything in it yet. I just built it. We're going to work the rest of it out. Today we're going to make a turbine, and we're going to just power it with a little reactor. I did determine after the last episode that I could take this drum and use an autonomous activator with some item filters and conduits, but Brink and I were talking and we might as well go big or go home. We're going to make a turbine that is almost 24,000 RF a tick today. We're going to put it in the elevator shaft, which is right here. I did a little bit of decorating with some of these wires and what are those? Frame bundled cables and stuff. I was just kind of playing around to see if I liked it. I kind of do. And I fillered out an area down here. What we're going to do is, well, I'll show you. We're basically going to put our turbine right below the base. And I've just made a little hole in the floor. The turbine will be 7 by 7. So it'll take up from corner to corner. It'll basically take up this whole space right here. So if we go back to the base, I've been running our current reactor full bore just because we need the cyanite to craft this stuff. I think we're actually going to have to make the cyanite reprocessor, because I think we're going to need one plutonium ingot for, two of them. So I don't know if I already made one. Let me see if it's in here first. No, I did not. I do have a little bit of cyanite. I think I made all the pieces to make this. I think it might require power and water. Yep. So let's do this. We're going to leave 80 in here, because we're going to need 80 turbine blades. And see, I've already got water here. There's power somewhere around here. I think I'm going to have to grab some conduit. Or even better, we'll just put a tesseract right on it. I've never used this thing, so I figured I'd do it with you guys. Let me see. Blue is water. We're not going to automate this, so it's not a big deal. This is receiving power, right? And it's a pretty slow machine, apparently. So that's how we make plutonium. What we're going to have to make for the turbine, I'm going to build it on my own, and then I'll show you how it works. We're going to need a bunch of turbine housings, which is this. I've already cooked up a bunch of graphite. We have plenty of cyanite in a chest over there. We're going to need a power port. We're going to need one controller. We're going to need 2 fluid ports, 1 rotor bearing. We're not going to need a computer port. We're going to need 10 of these, 80 of these, And I think that's it. It would be awesome if I could just make one of these. That would be kind of cheating. So we obviously won't do that. But I'm going to craft all the things. And actually, here's what I think I may do. I may actually make the pieces. I don't know how many I'm really going to need. I'll probably just make the controller and stuff, the power port and the fluid ports, and then I'll just turn the rest of this cyanite into the turbine housing because we really won't use it for anything else. So I'll do that, and then I guess I can build it in the episode since that's what it's kind of for. I've never made a turbine before, so I mean, I have in creative, but I've never actually made one for real in a legitimate world. Brink and I did a lot of testing yesterday and talking about this, and I was working on a 4 turbine design. He came up with a pretty good one for 1 turbine, and that's all we're going to do at the present time. And then later on, we may make another reactor and 4 more turbines just because we can. So I think I'm going to make the blades first because I know I have 80 cyanites in there, and I know I'm going to need 80 of these. And then I'll throw the rest of the cyanide in, and I'll be back in a minute when I've crafted everything, and we'll set up the turbine, and then we'll tear this down. Hopefully, I have enough resources here to make the appropriate size reactor. That's one thing I didn't check. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright guys, I think I've got all my pieces here. So let's come over here. We were looking for cryothium. We haven't found a blizz. I know I can make cryothium, but I don't think it does much better than resonant ender for real. So I'm going to use just resonant ender for now, and then maybe we'll switch it out, but probably not. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to have an elevator right in the center of this. I want to put this guy, the rotor bearing, on top in the center, and put a glass floor, clear glass, so we see the fan blade while we're looking downward. So this is a 7x7x17 reactor. Okay, so there's 17. I didn't go low enough here. Not that big of a deal. So we have to make the frame just like the reactor. I'm going to make the sides out of the turbine housing and only the top out of glass. So let me put this thing together. I'll probably just speed it up or something, and we'll be right back. Alright, it's actually going faster than I thought with the the builder's wand. I forgot about that. So we will need to just knock out the top here. And I've been taking fall damage because there's a problem with this pack when you log out. If you don't close your client, you ghost on the server. And a replicator killed me, and I didn't get my boots back. So all I have are pants right now, unfortunately. So the way this goes, you can do the frame with the housing, and then you can put glass on all other sides, which I'm not going to do because we're not going to see anything but the top. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put our rotor bearing right in the center here. This guy, and we're going to have to get downstairs again. And then we need to put our rotor shafts all the way up. Right? I probably need more than I have. I do. I didn't make enough of these. I'm quite a few short. Like I said, you prepare and you're always missing something. So let me run back home. We'll continue this momentarily. Alright, here we are. I also grabbed some potatoes because I foolishly put those back in my ME system. Why does that one... Is that a lighting glitch or what? That was weird. Alright, whatever. So we're going to put our Enderium blocks on the bottom. Like so. And I think we could put one more, but I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think it really benefits all that much, honestly. So, at least in my testing, I heard there's supposed to be a couple other blocks you can use that are like actually big reactor things instead of Enderium or Diamond or whatever. But I don't think they work yet. So we just need to fill our blades all the way to the top. We're already there. We're out of blades. Excellent. So this is what it'll look like, and then we just have to put the controller somewhere. It'll be right here. We're going to put our power port just on this side. These are going to go somewhere else entirely. We'll get to that momentarily. We're going to have to tear down the other reactor first. What I'm going to do is actually put the reactor right underneath it, and I'm going to put the fluid ports. Actually, I guess we could go ahead and put them in there. Let's put one here and one here, just because. I think that should be right in the middle. Whoa, hey, what's happening? That shouldn't happen. Alright, we're going to make one of these guys blue. So steam goes in here, water vents out here. They will correspond to the colors of the ports on our big reactor. Red to red, blue to blue. And so the reactor will be 7 by 7 by 3. And it'll go right underneath it. So right now, I just have to fill in this wall. I was wondering what was going on. Like, why won't it let me click the controller? Because I forgot to put in the wall here. And I believe you could put the rotor bearing on bottom and the Enderium on the top here. It is a valid turbine. Look at that. It does look a lot cooler with glass, but since we're not going to see the bottom, it doesn't really matter. So here's our interface. We'll get into this in a little bit. Before I do that, let me tear down the reactor, bring it over here. I'm going to go ahead and build it before I bring you back, since we've already built a reactor together. But just know that when I build the reactor, I'm going to set the control rods at a predefined number that I already know works before I put it all together. And I'm going to put Enderium in it, and I will line up the coolant ports of the reactor with these two, and then we'll make one extra coolant port to get the water in there initially. So I'm going to build that. I'll be right back, and we'll fire this thing up. Obviously, it doesn't look very pretty from down here. However, when the fan blades spin, it'll look pretty cool from up here. And I may make the whole thing a little more aesthetically pleasing after the episode. Depends on how often we're going to have to go down there. I don't think we're going to go very often. I think I probably could have pulled off making 2 turbines, but that's alright. We'll get more cyanite first. Okay, so now that I'm unstuck, I'm going to tear this thing down, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay guys, welcome back. I built the reactor. I'm going to be honest, it's kind of a pain to do it this way, especially if you're going to put Enderium in it, or Cryothium for that matter. It's actually easier to go in through the turbine, take out the bottom level and the top level, and pour it all in from the top. So we have a valid reactor, we have a valid turbine. You'll notice on the reactor, there's now 2 different bars here. One is for water or coolant, one is for steam. And all we need to do is, we need to put in 1 more coolant port and our access ports. So how about we put our access ports over here? Is that where we should do it? Now let's do them right here. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to make another ender chest, export Yellorium to it, and then use probably an Ender IO conduit or something to get it in there. And then probably just put my default ender chest over here to catch the cyanide coming out. And we'll put our other coolant port right here. All we need now is a couple buckets of water, which there should be plenty upstairs. We'll take it from the 1 deep so I don't have that always flowing water. Where's my entrance? Alright, so this is going to be a closed system, but we've got to put water in it to start. So how I do that is a liquid transfer node and a bunch of world upgrades and stuff. So hopefully that'll do it. You'll see our reactor is now full of water. I don't know how long we're going to need to leave that thing hooked up, but we can kind of play around with it. So let's put a stack of Yellorite in there. We'll fire this thing up. And right now we're bottlenecked. So if we look at this one, it's full of steam and water. This one is full of steam. If we turn it on, we're going to get some water as well. So now if we get rid of this guy, tell the turbine to vent overflow and then close it. Now you can see we've got water in here, steam in here. And this thing spins up faster if you disengage the coils a little bit. But you can see, I mean, we've already made a ton of energy. It's not making much right now, but once it spins up, it should make a little under 24,000. So I'm going to let that happen. And basically now we just wait. The fuel usage on this is under 0.05 millibuckets a tick, which is pretty good in my opinion. The reactor that I made to power 4 turbines was using about 0.18, which is not 4 times what this one uses, but this is about as low as I think we got it to work with just one. And I wanted to build it like this so it's a unit, you know. I tried to play around with building the turbine horizontally and building the reactor vertically, but this seemed to work out better overall. So I'm going to let this thing spin up to 1800 and then we'll check it out. And then next episode I think we'll make a laser drill because I don't think we're going to quarry anymore. In my testing with the laser drill, the yellow focus is the only one that gives you yellorium. So we're going to have to make some yellow focuses to put in there. And then I want to run it, say, for, I don't know, 24 hours. See what we get from the laser drill to see if this thing is self-sustaining or not. I think it will be because it's using a relatively small amount of yellorium. So I think we'll be good to go. So the sweet spots for the turbine, they're 900 and 1800. I actually used an architect table and a builder to replicate one of these yesterday. The turbines were spinning when I made the blueprint, and when I built it with the builder, the thing spun up to like 45,000, 4,500 RPMs, and they were making like 60,000 RF a tick. Obviously, that's not a good idea because, like I said, your sweet spots are 900 and 1800. If we engage it now, we're making 11,000 already, but we're going to double this when we get to 1800. So I'm going to wait, and I'll rejoin you momentarily when this thing gets spun up. Okay, we're almost there. Moment of truth. We're going to engage these, and it's still going to climb a little bit, but this is our number. We're just going to call it 23,000. I could put one more Enderium block in there, and it'll spin a little below 1800 and make slightly more RF, but what's a couple hundred when you're making 23,000 already? So how we're going to get power out of this, since there's no more power loss with tesseracts, I'm just going to throw a tesseract on the power port here and tesseract our energy wherever we need it. It should be plenty. I mean, the laser drill will take 20,000 of this, leaving just over 3,000 to run everything. The pulverizer and stuff makes, I don't know, or they use, what is it, 800 a tick. And I'll show you this in just a second. I actually set that up to auto process the ores. But we may get closer to 23,500. I didn't anticipate that. But so this is our turbine. We need to see what it looks like from the top. And the next time you see it, you're going to walk in here. It's going to be clear glass, an elevator right here, and then you're going to look down, and all you're going to see is this blade spinning. I don't know why I start falling through there. I think it looks really cool. I really like it. It looks cool from the side too, but since we can't live underground, that's not really something we need to worry about. So we'll run over to the base real quick. Now that we've done this, I can start moving. And now I want to get into, I want to make a Quarry Plus just because I don't know how much I'll run it. I want to make the lasers and some Buildcraft gates. But now I can focus on figuring out AE channels and making them work. My export bus here, I had to put 2 capacity cards in it. If I take one of these out, it'll take away the 4 corner slots. I can't put anything in them. If I take the other one out, it only shows me 1 slot by default. So I had to use 2 of those and only 1 acceleration card because the fuzzy card was needed because we have different types of ores, copper, and I think we have 2 different types of tin, maybe. So we're all set. I'm going to start moving everything. I'll probably make a few more 64Ks and another drive, and figure out where I'm going to put everything in the other base. I probably could have taken you to the top. I didn't even do that. Let's do it real quick before we end here. It's pretty simple. I left a little hole in the ceiling so I could get in. It's just clear glass. It's clear glass all the way around, so I can look out, see what's happening. We're just 1 level above the clouds. And I figured since I'm going to tesseract the power, I could put the Tesseract somewhere and use Ender IO conduits and put facades, and I could do the same thing with the AE cable, so I could put like my thermal expansion machines right here, my Ender IO machines right there, my mechanism machines over there, and then something over here, I don't know what. And if we fly down here, my wireless charger's on a Tesseract right now. I may end up putting deep storage units just down here out of sight, but I'm not really sure about that. I mean, we may make a floor maybe at this level right here, or I don't know. I'll work that out. We'll figure it out at some point. But when you come down the elevator, you're going to be looking down, you can see the fan blade from here. And I think it actually does look pretty cool with those little wires everywhere. So I'm pretty happy about it. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you don't follow me on Twitch, the link is below if you want to catch me on stream this weekend. Either just pop into the stream, or I'm not sure if it emails. It should YouTube, or it should Twitter. So if nothing else, follow me on Twitter to be notified when my stream starts. And I also need suggestions about what to do. I was thinking either Impact Flux or Material Energy 3. I'm not at all interested in running red. I could do Crash Landing, I guess. I could do that on stream. I haven't done that on video at all. So let me know your thoughts on that. Nothing else. I mean, we could even just continue TPPI where I left off. I know, I'm pretty open, so leave me your suggestions down below. If you have any comments, questions, etc., leave them as well. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time.